What's up, guys? So let's talk about yesterday's great night of fights. Oscar Duarte got a majority decision win over Kenneth Sims Jr. Regis Prograis versus Joe Diaz was a absolute war. Regis Prograis got a unanimous decision win. So let's just go over the card itself and talk about the fight. So we'll talk about the co-main event first. Regis Prograis versus Joe Diaz. So Regis Prograis, he overcame multiple scares in the fight, defeated Joseph Diaz via unanimous decision. So the scorecards read 98, 92, 96, 94, 96, 94. To be honest with you, it was a great night. Great fight as well. The fight itself, that fight alone, definitely one of theirs, a contender for fight of the year. Definitely back and forth. Both of them came forward, letting their hands go. Joseph Diaz hurt Regis Prograis. His legs buckled as well. A couple of times his left leg was giving way, but Regis Prograis used his experience to bounce back and, come back in the fight itself. Genuinely, I was a bit surprised with it being a unanimous decision because I did feel it was a lot more tighter. Joseph Diaz did a lot of things in the fight really well. He put a lot of pressure on Regis Prograis. He also had a cut on his eye, in his left eye, but he fought on through the fight and was definitely putting the pressure on Regis Prograis. He rocked him a few times, and each time Regis Prograis was coming back, he was trying to put Joseph Diaz on the back foot. Joseph Diaz being the lighter opponent, obviously boxing at this weight. Regis Prograis is actually comfortable at this weight division, but in general, he was very coming forward, letting his hands go. Joe Diaz was in the fight itself, so to get a unanimous decision win, I would love to see that fight happen again because it was definitely a competitive fight. But let's see what they do with that. Then we're going on to the main event. The main event, what an absolute cracker. It was a boxer against a brawler. Kenneth Sims Jr, boxed really well in stages of the fight. Very competitive fight again. Oscar Duarte putting the pressure on, not really giving Kenneth Sims Jr any time to get into the fight or use his movement in any way. But it was a great night, a great fight. So what Oscar Duarte got a majority decision win, and now he steps closer to be challenging Gary Antoine Russell Jr for the WBA light welterweight title. What he's come out and said on the post-fight interview: 140 pounds, watch out. I want the WBA belt. I'm coming. I'm ready for anybody. I want that world title. So it was a classic boxer versus fighter, brawler. Duarte's heavy hands and was non-stop pressure against Sims. Sharp counter-punching and brilliant jab. Duarte then said, I knew I had to put the pressure on him. I had him hit. I hit him to the body and take out the legs away. I had to take this away, and take his will. So now Duarte, definitely goes now, gets the title shot. Well, he's in line now to face Gary Antoine Russell Jr. But it was a great fight. He was putting the intelligent pressure on Kenneth Sims Jr. Kenneth Sims Jr. I did feel was bouncing back each time when the pressure was being put on him, but it's what the judges saw, and they saw it as a majority decision. Again, his best moments in the fight for Kenneth Sims Jr. was when he was circling in the center of the ring behind his jab. Far too often, though, Duarte was able to get Sims to hold his feet and punch with him. So what was happening a lot was that as he was circling the ring and moving on the outside, Oscar Duarte was putting the pressure on, which then made Kenneth Sims Jr. actually box with him and actually have a tear up with him. And that's where Oscar Duarte was getting the advantage of the rounds and, basically beating him to the punch in that sense. So what Oscar Duarte Kenneth Sims Jr said was, I thought I won. I boxed him. He caught me with some, but every time he caught me, I came back. So I want to run it back. So he's definitely wants a rematch, and he feels that he can put this, avenge that loss that he's got now. But yeah, generally, Oscar Duarte performed very well. Kenneth Sims Jr did perform very well as well. Oscar Duarte, like I said, very, very strong. And the matchup against Gary Antoine Russell Jr will be a very, very good fight, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how that fight goes. But in general, yeah, I think for me personally, do I think he's got enough to beat Gary Antoine Russell? I don't think he has. I think Gary Antoine Russell will be too much for him. But shocks can happen in boxing, and Oscar Duarte seems very, very convinced with his style at the moment, and that come forward style, letting his hands go, heavy hands, and putting his opponents on pressure. I feel that he will have that make believe in himself that he can pull this off. So let's see what happens. But in general, yeah, performance from Kenneth Sims Jr. definitely performed well, but it wasn't his night. Let me know what your thoughts are on the fights itself. How did you see the fights going? What did you think of Oscar Duarte's performance and Riga's Prograis performance? And let me know what your thoughts are. And how do you think Oscar Duarte will do against someone like Gary Antoine Russell? Let me know what your thoughts are. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment down below, hit the notification button, hit the like button. Triple B Boxing TV. Thank you.